Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tweeden of course. So there was this recent article posted by TF2, which are kind of the guys behind the whole TF2 competitive community. Well, at least I think they are. So they went to see Valve, they went to go pay a visit with the developers behind TF2. And they were talking about some stuff, they had a meeting, just a casual conversation about what they can improve about the game. And one of the things that came up, apparently, was the idea of having an in-game option for a competitive play. So they would kinda add some sort of button, just like the play multiplayer button you're probably very used to by now, where you can just get matched up in a normal server and you just play the game normally, instead of, in addition to an option just to play multiplayer just normally. They would also have add an additional option to have some sort of competitive matchmaking. It can be next to or above or just somewhere on the main menu screen. So I think this option is very good. We all know that Team Fortress, like when we go to visit a Team Fortress 2 server, you have, like, for example, 4 people that have played the game over 1,000 hours that really know what they're doing. You have the soldier that's rocket jumping, the pyro that has some insane reflex, and the medic that is really helpful to his team. And then you have 10 people who are just playing the game very normally, very casually, people that we don't mind that are really playing the game, really just medics that heal the heavies, engineers that build teleporters and sentries and dispensers, and just spy that backstabs people. They just play the game normally. They aren't noobs at the game, they aren't completely new, they aren't very skilled either. They are not likely to put off some crazy kills. Then you have about 8 people that are really new to the game. We all know them. They often play sniper with the gibbous hats. People tend to make jokes about them, how they are free to play and always wear the same loadouts. And the new pyros and soldiers were just shooting rockets into thin air. And then you have like 2 people, and 2 people, we are not really sure what they are doing. They are just trolling, they are not playing the game, they are playing engineers who place teleporter in inconvenient situations, inconvenient places I mean, or they are playing as a heavy, the heavies that are just punching people. They might be just recording videos for YouTube, I don't know. They're not really playing the game as it's supposed to be played. They're just hanging out, doing stupid shit. The thing is, you have a lot of different people on just normal Team Fortress 2 server. People with different origins, people with a different skill level. What if you could take each of those levels of skill and put those together in a separate server? Even the lower skilled ones. What if you have matchmaking for even lower skilled players? I do have some concerns about this whole situation of competitive matchmaking. Because how will it work? Because competitive Team Fortress 2 as it is now is actually quite complicated. There are a lot of rules and guidelines. For example, guidelines, I'm thinking about game modes, for example. There are some game modes that aren't really all that popular. With competitive community, like CDF, Capture the Flag, isn't really all that popular. I don't think anybody played competitive on RD Asteroid yet, as RD is also not really popular. As the Doomsday, I think the same thing. They are only like 3, I think it's King of the Hill is often played. 5 CP map, 5 control points, that's often played, I do know for a fact. And then you have Payload, which is often time based. And there are also some rules, like you have 2 main differences of competitive play. You have Highlander, which is 1 of each class, of course, so there can only be 1, that's why it's called Highlander. If you don't get that reference, look it up. And then you got 6v6 matches, which are often 2 soldiers, 2 scouts, I think, 1 medic and 1 demo. I think that's the case. And there are also often banned items, because some items are way too good in some situations. Like, for example, imagine a scout with the bunk just running to the last point and nobody can stop him. And how will the matchmaking work? Will there be some sort of rating system? I imagine there are. And how will that rating system work? Will it work on KD ratio? Kill death ratio? I can't imagine that's going to work that way, because that puts medics at a serious disadvantage. will it work on the points you get in the game, or will it work on your win-loss ratio? I don't know. So I do have some concerns about this whole situation, how they are going to implement this, because competitive definitely needs some rules and guidelines. You can't just do whatever you want. So they really need to work and communicate really well with people like TF2.tv that really know how competitive works to make this whole system work. Because otherwise, it can just be like a cheesy thing where people just put some crazy strings, let's just say, right? But the advantage might be it might give Team Fortress 2 the push it needs, because a lot of people don't really know competitive even that exists. I mean, you might think Team Fortress 2 is just a game about hats, it's a hat simulator. People often make that joke, but people don't really realize this actually serious side to Team Fortress 2. You have the games like League of Legends, Dota 2 and CSGO, and I keep wondering myself, why are these games getting so popular these days? And now when I think about it, it might just be the competitive aspect about it, because it's so popular, the competitive aspect. And if you can apply that system to Team Fortress 2, it might give it a little bit like a push. It also opens up, another thing that it does is also opens up possibilities for people like me. People I'm not really sure about myself. I mean, I have over 1,000 hours in Team Fortress 2. I'm one of those 4 people on that Team Fortress 2 server that have played the game for quite a while. I'm almost at 1,500 hours currently as of making this video, and I'm not really sure. I'm actually interested in the whole competitive aspect about Team Fortress 2, but I haven't really decided whether I should get into it, and I think it's a big step you have to take. You have to like flip a switch and decide, let's just go for it. And adding an option like this might be a little push that gives me a little tap on the back that says to me, hey, why don't try this button out and see how it goes. So it might be a little opens up a possibility for me to actually get into the competitive aspect about Team Fortress 2. And I think this is really good for an old game like Team Fortress 2. It's almost like an old PC that you have that's running really, really slow. And you decide, well, why not? Let's put an SSD in there and some extra RAM and put your operating system on your SSD. So it's low. Instead of your PC starting up in like 2 minutes, it starts up in like 2 seconds, and it's really much faster than it used to be, and makes you interested in that old PC again that you loved when you played, I don't know, the original Team Fortress Classic, for example. It can give Team Fortress 2 a little budget needs. It's an old game by now, and people are losing a little bit of interest. I say this time again, I even made a video about this. Team Fortress 2 isn't dying, but it is suffering from lack of interest a little bit, and especially when Overwatch is going to arrive in autumn this year, it might need a little bit of push, and that's exactly what this option might bring. Thanks for watching, and take care, folks.